Now, we can try to start and from basics and prove each of these inequalities, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just state a few inequalities and then use them in problem solving. Okay. One of the most famous inequalities is arithmetic mean is greater than or equal to geometric mean, which is greater than or equal to harmonic mean. For any set of numbers, very easy to prove, but right now we are not going to show that. That is basically sigma ai by n. So this is the arithmetic mean is greater than or equal to product. So usually for product we use pi. Like sigma is for sum. Sigma is basically stands for S. Product, Greek letters, pi stands for product, big P, product, okay. So this is product of ai power 1 by n greater than or equal to, so this is greater than or equal to the product, power 1 by n. So what is geometric mean of n numbers? A1, A2, A3, A4, power 1 by 4, 1 by 5 depending on what n is, so power 1 by n. Arithmetic mean sum by n. So the arithmetic mean is bigger than the geometric mean, greater than or equal to, and that is greater than or equal to harmonic mean. What is the harmonic mean? So what is, suppose A1, A, B, C are in arithmetic mean, what will be in harmonic mean? 1 by A, 1 by B, 1 by C. What will be the mean of it? 1 by A plus 1 by B plus 1 by C by n, but you have to do 1 by, so that means n by sigma 1 by ai. Do you understand? Because I did a 1 by ai, actually for mean I should say 1 by ai summation by n. But because I did 1 by ai not ai, I should do 1 by of this also. So that is the harmonic mean. Okay. Let us take with two numbers, it's easy to quickly visualize. A plus b by 2 greater than or equal to root of ab greater than or equal to 2 by 1 by a plus 1 by b. Is that okay? Correct, 2ab by a. That is the harmonic mean. You know for a and b what will be the harmonic mean? 2ab by a plus b. That's exactly what we get here. If you add three numbers, you will get a plus b plus c, and this will become cube root of abc, and that will become 3 by 1 by a plus 1 by b plus 1 by c. Right? For example, very simple stuff. Like you can ask questions like, suppose I had three numbers a, b, c. Let's right now take them as positive numbers. So three positive numbers a, b, c. And what would be the least value of this? Suppose you want the minimum value of a plus b plus c into 1 by a plus 1 by b plus 1 by c. A, b, c are three positive numbers. Now for example, if a was very small, b was very small, c was very small, this will be a small number, but that will be a very large number. So this has a minimum value. What would be that minimum value? 9. Why will that be 9? Because, so this has to be greater than or equal to 9. Why does it have to be greater than or equal to 9? Because a plus b plus c by 3 must be greater than or equal to 3 by 1 by a plus 1 by b plus 1 by c. This is positive, so you can take it to that side. Take 3 to that side. So a plus b plus c into 1 by a plus 1 by b plus 1 by c is greater than or equal to 9. So the least value of this is 9. Is it attained? Is the least value attained? Yes. This whole inequality becomes equality. This whole thing becomes equality if and only if all of the ai's are equal. So if I say a1 is equal to a2 is equal to a3 equals a4, then this whole thing attains equality. Otherwise, this is going to be a strict inequality. So does it make sense to you? Okay. Let us show this because this is very, very easy to show. At least the first part is very, very easy to show. Then second part we can do a little bit more and figure it out. But if you take the first part, How will I show the first part? Let's see. A plus B minus 2 root of AB is what I want to show, right? Correct? But you can think of this as root of A whole square plus root of B whole square minus 2 times root of A root of B. This is root A minus root B whole square. Correct? Assuming A and B are positive, which I have already assumed. But isn't this always greater than or equal to 0? When is this equal to 0? When these two fellows are equal. That is A is equal to B. Otherwise, this is always greater than 0. And if this is greater than 0, this must be greater than 0. Which means A plus B must be greater than 2 times root of AB. A plus B by 2 must be greater than root of AB. We can do this kind of technique for proving this in a general case, which I am not doing right now. Okay. The more important thing is right now to remember this simple inequality and then use it. So this is called the arithmetic geometric harmonic mean inequality. Okay, AMGM HM. So this I am assuming many of you already know. Let us now look at a couple of other inequalities, simple 2 or 3 of these, and then we will look at how to apply all of these together. Okay. The second very useful inequality, there is a very beautiful way to state this inequality. First I will state it, I will write it, and then we will try to see what to do with it. Sigma AI square into sigma BI square is greater than or equal to sigma AI BI whole square. There is an integral form. The integral form is integral f square x dx from some a to b into, because when you do the summation it's just the same as the integral, into integral g square x dx from a to b is greater than or equal to integral f of x g of x dx from a to b whole square. Do you see that these two are exactly the same? Here we are saying summation because they are discrete quantities into this summation, discrete quantities. So ABC, sorry not ABC, AIs, A1, A2, A3, they are a bunch of numbers. B1, B2, B3, they are a bunch of numbers. So A1 square plus A2 square plus A3 square plus A4 square multiplied by B1 square, B2 square, B3 square, B4 square, any order you pick, is greater than or equal to A1 B1 plus A2 B2 plus A3 B3 whole square. Is this obvious? A1 B1 plus A2 B2 plus A3 B3, the summation whole square. Correct. This is also summation. Sum of AI squares into sum of BI squares is greater than sum of AI BI whole square. That is basically the whole square term is smaller than the product of the squares. Product of the squares, sum of squares, is bigger than the product summed, sum of products whole square. Is it an obvious statement? I am going to claim A1 square plus A2 square plus A3 square into B1 square plus B2 square plus B3 square is greater than or equal to A1 B1 plus A2 B2 plus A3 B3 whole square. You already know this. You can just stare at it and you know the answer. It must be true. If you stare at it, you know that this is true. You have learned this, except you may not recognize it in this form. Where have you learned it? Are you saying something? Vectors. Very good. It's vectors. What is A1, A2, A3. It is actually AX, AY, AZ. Think of it that way. What is this fellow? What is AX square plus AY square plus AZ square? Magnitude of A square. So this is magnitude of A square. That is magnitude of B square. Greater than or equal to, what is A1, B1? AX, BX plus AY, BY. Dot product. A dot B whole square. But what is A dot B? AB cos theta. So this A square B square cos square theta. This is nothing but A square B square cos square theta. Obviously this must be less than A square B square, right? Why? Because cos square theta must be less than 1. Unless you had A and B in the same, at the same angle, pointing the same direction, A1 square, B1 square, C1 square, or AX square, BX square, I'm sorry, AX square, AY square, AZ square into BX square, BY square, BZ square, this product is not going to be equal to this. If you want the dot product to be equal to AB, what is the way to get AB? Theta must be 0. Well, in this case, theta can also be 180 degrees because you'll get a minus sign, squared will also be 1. But generally, can this ever be less than that? No, right? That's it proved. We can ask, wait, that was true for 3 numbers. What about 20 numbers? Why is it still true? Well, that is a statement, right? But basically, vector, the idea of a vector need not be restricted to 3 dimensions. You can talk about an n dimension vector. So if you say there is an n dimension vector with n numbers here, usually we learn that as a matrix. So you say A is A1, A2, A3, AN. B is B1, B2, B3, Bn. A dot B will be A1, B1, A plus A2, B2 plus A3, B3. And A's magnitude will be A1 square plus A2 square. A magnitude square will be A1 square. So that is basically, so this is telling you the magnitude of A squared into magnitude of B square is greater than or equal to the dot product square. So think of it that way. Of course, since it's valid for all sorts of numbers, it need not be something that you can always think in terms of vectors, but the proof you can do it very nicely in terms of vectors. So what is this guy saying? This is some sort of a continuous vector. The dimensions are not like 1, 2, 3. There is all the dimensions in between as well. We need a proof for this which is not directly related to vectors, because you want to show this in other cases where it's not, doesn't seem like a vector. And you can prove it by directly using some algebra, which we are not doing right now, again. Okay, you can show it for 2 numbers very easily, then you can expand it, you can multiply a little bit more and figure it out. But what I am more interested right now is, can we use this? If you go Google this and you basically say, I want Cauchy-Schwarz inequality proof, you'll have lots of different proofs people have given. Okay, but this is a very, very useful inequality. One of the direct applications of this, one very nice and simple application, is if I took AI square and then for B I take all of it as 1. So what will I get? N times AI square. And then here, since all B's are 1, I'll just get AI whole square. Correct? So here I'm going to get AI whole square. But I have an n times sitting here. There was an n times. So I'll bring that n and also bring one more n. Remember, there was supposed to be an n there. So now if I put an n here, what happens to that? N square. Bring it here and take it inside. What is this telling us? This is telling us arithmetic mean of squares is greater than or equal to square of the arithmetic mean. Correct? Arithmetic mean of squares is greater than the square of the arithmetic mean. Can I say arithmetic mean of cubes is greater than the cube of the arithmetic mean? That would have been nice. You understand my question? Cauchy-Schwarz leads us to this. But is this true? Because we got this, maybe we should think about whether it's true for cubes. Is this true for cubes? How will we do that? Not so simple. But it turns out that this is true. Okay. Now, this statement I am going to write as a slightly different statement. So, that is the third kind of inequality. Okay. So, if you see, Cauchy-Schwarz has some connection with the AMGM, not GM, but it's saying something about arithmetic mean and arithmetic mean of squares, squares of arithmetic mean. It is more general than just arithmetic mean of squares, because it's basically sigma AI square, sigma BI square, two different set of numbers. But what we are going to do is to take this part and generalize this. So, if I tell you that this is valid, it is called the power mean theorem. Arithmetic mean of some power is greater than the power of the arithmetic mean. Okay? But we will go a little bit more power, we will do a little bit better. Can I take this cube and do power 1 by 3? Can I do root of? Yes, right? So, this is the power mean, root of mean of the power, root of square root of mean of power, cube root of mean of power. And if you look at these two, both are greater than just the ordinary A. But between these two, which will be greater? So, I had 1 power 1, right? When I went to 2, 2 was bigger. Actually, you should expect that this is even bigger. And it is. Okay, so let us write this statement. So, this we call the power mean theorem. In general, I will state the theorem and then we will get the implications of it, and with this we will stop. Okay. So, that means we have 3 theorems to think about, and that's good enough, and this gives you very powerful tools to sit and solve out a lot of problems, but let us start with this. So, if I write this theorem, the way this is written usually is sigma AI, that is A1, A2, A3. You want to do some power. Let us say you are doing this to power m. That is, you are taking mth power. So, this is the mth power's arithmetic mean to the power 1 by m. And let us say pth power. Okay? Or let me do this as not m but p, because this m and n can be sometimes confusing. So, we will do p. So, you do pth power, but if you do pth power, you must raise it to power 1 by p. So, pth root of mean of pth power, pth root of mean of pth power. Now, one way to remember this is, I am pretty sure you have heard of this term called RMS. Root mean square, very common. Root power half, root mean square. Root mean square. Power half mean square. Now, that's so common, you should basically remember that anyway. And what if I did this for the cube root? Cube root mean cube. Fourth root mean fourth power. Correct? Is that idea clear? Whatever you did in terms of a power, after that you added all of them and did an average. By the way, if all the a's were equal, what will happen? You will get n times a power p. So, it will basically cancel out. The mean will be a power p. Power 1 by p will give you back a. Ultimately, it should all give you back a. if this guy, all the a's were equal, what will it give you? A. All the a's were equal, you will get a power n, power 1 by n, a. All the a's were equal, you will get n by a, n cancels, you will get a. Ultimately, the whole purpose of a mean is if every number was equal, the mean better give you back the mean, the number, right? How can you say the mean of 2, 2, 2, 2 and 2 is 3? Makes no sense. Whatever kind of mean you talk about, it should be back to 2 if all the numbers were equal. Minimum. That much is clear? So because I have taken a power p and then I have taken its mean, I must do a power 1 by p. I hope the idea is clear. Now I can do this for q. What is q? Q could be 1, q could be 2, q could be 3, q could be whatever. I don't know what q is, but I could have done this for q. ai power q. Now the question is this greater or is that greater? What is this? This is the qth root mean qth power. Okay? So, is this greater or is this greater? Well, that depends on which number is greater. This is greater than that if p greater than q. If and only if, let's put it that way. That is, if p greater than q, then this will be greater than or equal to that. And if that is greater than that, p must be greater than q. Obviously, if one of them is, if from here you get there, it must work in reverse because otherwise these two are the same, right? You can flip it around and you will say that is greater than this. So, it's true. So, I hope this idea is clear. I have not proved it, but this is called power mean theorem. Power mean inequality. Sometimes it's a good idea to name some of these fellows. I like to not call it power mean inequality. I like to call it root mean power inequality. Okay, so this is the usual name, but I am going to call it root mean power inequality. It is like saying root mean square inequality. Okay, except root mean power inequality tells you if the powering term p is greater than the powering term q, then the root mean power mean, right? The root mean here, power mean here. We usually call this the power mean. So the power mean here is greater than the power mean there if p is greater than q. Simple. Direct application is this. Because what is this? Third power mean is greater than first power mean. Of course it is. First power mean is called arithmetic mean. By the way, zeroth power mean is called geometric mean. Minus 1th power mean is called harmonic mean. Why is that the zeroth power mean? That I have not shown. Okay, but it's called zeroth power mean, and you can show that if you try to make this zeroth power, how will you take zeroth power? This is also 0, that is also 0. Remember, power 0 is slightly tricky. 1 power infinity. You have to be very careful, you have to take the limit. And when you do the limit, it will turn out to be this. It's a good exercise to try and show it. But we won't do it now. Okay, you can do some logarithms and all and show it. But that's not the purpose. My point is not that we should be able to do this. I'm just saying if p is greater than q, this is greater than that. So this is actually a generalization of the arithmetic geometric harmonic mean. Very, very powerful. Will you learn this in school? No. Okay, most places you won't learn this as part of your inequality learning, but it's very powerful, so you use it. How do you prove this fellow? That's a little bit more tricky. You have to use a little bit of calculus, Jensen's inequality. Right now, that's not my goal. Using any of these three, can we use other and show other things? So, by the way, can you see that this is RMS greater than AM? So, this is root mean square. You know the name for this. Why is this called RMS? Root mean square. This is also some sort of RMS, but it's not RMS, it's RMC. Cube root mean cube. Generally root, you can assume, call it root. So RMC is what we will call this. Okay, nobody calls it that, okay, so you can't quote it. RMS people do call. RMS greater than AM. That's what the statement is. But this is a very powerful tool, and this is telling you RMC is greater than or equal to RMS, which is greater than or equal to Well, that is 1, power 1, it's just called AM. First root of, which means nothing, it's the same, right? Mean of first power. Isn't this first root of mean of first power? What is that? Sum of numbers by n, which is called arithmetic mean. So I hope this idea is clear. And if I take the fourth power, that will be bigger. If I took not square cube, but I took 2.5, that will be in between these two fellows. This is not just valid for natural numbers, it's valid for all sorts of numbers. Okay, so in some sense this implies this, though it is not so obvious why 0 will land you with this and minus 1 will land you with that. So you should know that separately, you should know this separately, but you should definitely know this, it's very, very useful. So we have learned 3 inequalities. Remember them, you can prove them, but proving them and then trying to derive is not easy in an exam. So it's very useful to remember arithmetic mean greater than geometric mean greater than harmonic mean. This of course is there well within your syllabus. Cauchy-Schwarz inequality, which is the dot product magnitude square is less than or equal to product of the magnitude squares, which is the same as saying sigma A square into sigma B square greater than sigma AB. So the way I write it is sigma A square, sigma B square, I don't leave out the, okay, sigma A square into sigma B square is greater than or equal to sigma AB whole square. If somebody told you A, B, C are all positive numbers and they told you ABC, A plus B plus C, remember you can think of it as? So I remember I told you about this 9. Okay, let us try to use Cauchy-Schwarz to come up with the same idea for 9. So somebody says, oh, you know what, I've got positive numbers A plus B plus C, 1 by A plus 1 by B plus 1 by C. What is this products? What is this greater than or equal to? I can say, all of them are positive, aren't they? So why don't we think of it as root A square plus root B square plus root C square. 1 by root A square plus 1 by root B square plus 1 by root C square. Cauchy-Schwarz tells us this must be greater than or equal to root A into 1 by root A plus root B into 1 by root B plus root C into 1 by root C whole square. We did not use HM at all. We just used Cauchy-Schwarz. Is the idea clear? So you should be able to use this, very powerful, and it will land up in unexpected places. Sum of squares into sum of squares is greater than sum of the product, corresponding product whole square. Cauchy-Schwarz, mean power inequality or power mean inequality, root mean power inequality, the best way to think. This will tell you exactly what you are talking about, root mean power inequality, RMS inequality. Okay, and AM greater than GM greater than HM. Everybody is clear? 3 inequalities, write this down, mug it up. Not just remember, you should be able to remember to use it in different contexts. So what we will do is we will start off with problems. Now I won't tell you which problem, which inequality you are going to use.